Shabbat Shalom, Yashala, Shabbat Shalom. Dabalam and Yashala coming out with another episode, bringing out those holy precepts on this holy Shabbat. First and foremost, giving all praise, glory, and honor to the Most High God, Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Rakakatash. True Father, deliver and save his names in ancient Paleo Hebrew, Lashawan Kwadash. The holy original tongue. I hope everybody's the Most High blessed on this holy Sabbath. Here in the land of our captivity, Babylon the Great, the United Snakes of America. Okay, on this holy Shabbat, today we're going to be reading out of the book of St. Matthew's. St. Matthew's, chapter 15, giving all praise and glory to our King. Okay, let's get into it on this holy Sabbath. St. Matthew's chapter 15 and verse 1 reads, Then came to Yahawashi scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem, saying, verse 2, Why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? Why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat bread. Okay? Verse 3, St. Matthew's chapter 15 and verse 3. But he answered and said unto them, red letters, the King of Kings speaking, who is regularly called Jesus the Christ, but we know he's a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Judah, pursuant to Hebrews 7 and 14. But he said unto them, Why do ye also transgress the commandments of the Most High by your tradition? Read it again, St. Matthew 15 and verse 3. But he answered and said unto them, Why do ye also transgress the commandments of the Most High by your traditions? That's going to be the title of this Holy Sabbath lesson. Why do ye transgress the commandments of the Most High God, Yahawah, by these worldly traditions? Okay, let's break some of this down. The first three precepts. Let's go into the blue letter first of all and break down the word transgress for the unlearned of this world. Okay, as you see it, blue letter Bible, Matthew 15 verse 2, precepts on the top. Why do thy disciples transgress the traditions of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat bread. So let's break down this word. Transgress. Okay, Hebrew word. Salakia, Greek word. Okay, pronunciation.
Strong's G 3845.
Parabino. Okay, let's get the biblical usage in this pretext. Biblical usage. To go by the side of, to go past or pass over without touching a thing, to overstep, neglect, violate, transgress. So to go past as to turn aside from, to depart, leave, be turned from, one who abandons his trust. Okay? One who abandons his trust. Again, this Holy Sabbath lesson. Why do ye transgress the commandments of the Most High? That's what the king is asking. Okay? So if you're Israelite, the king wants to know why you still live in the ways of this world. Why do ye transgress the commandments of the Most High? Okay? Point blank period. Let's get back to the lesson. Verse 4, St. Matthew 15 and verse 4. For the Most High commanded, saying, Honor thy father and thy mother. And he that curseth father or mother, let him die the death. Okay, for the Most High commanded, saying, honor thy father and thy mother, and he that curses the father or mother, let him die the death. St. Matthew 15 and verse 5. But ye say, whosoever say to his father or his mother, it is a gift, by whatsoever thou mightest be profited by. Okay, the Pharisees and the scribes and they always combating the Messiah and the commandments of the Most High. Point blank, period. That's why the Messiah say, but ye say, whosoever shall say to his father or his mother, it is a gift, by whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me. Verse 6, and honor not thy father or thy mother, he shall be free. Thus have ye made the commandment of the Most High of none effect by your tradition. Okay? And honor not his father or his mother. These are, again, the scribes and the Pharisees telling the Messiah, the Messiah telling them that why don't you honor your father and your mother? Okay? Thus have ye made the commandment of the Most High of none effect by your traditions. Verse 7, ye hypocrites, well did Elias prophesy of you, saying, this people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. Beautiful precept. I'm going to read it again because this goes for these worldly people who think they know this Bible and think they're worshiping the Most High and the King of Kings, Lords of Lords, as the scriptures say. Well, what does the King say? Verse 8, this people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honor me with their lips, but their hearts is far from me. St. Matthew 15 and verse 9. But in vain they do worship me. Read it again. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandment of men. Okay? Following these worldly traditions, these folly days, living Sunday worship. That's of this world. It clearly says in the Bible to honor the Sabbath, the seventh day. Okay? Point blank, period. Verse 9 again. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for the doctrines the commandment of men. Okay? Why do ye transgress the commandments of the Most High God, Yahawah? Okay? On this holy Sabbath lesson, and I love to let the King speak. Thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Holy Bible. St. Matthew 15 and verse 10. And he called the multitude and said unto them, hear and understand. Verse 11. Not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man, but that which come out of the mouth, this defileth a man. Okay? Not that which goes into the mouth defileth a man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth a man. I want to break something down because this Christianity doctrine that says that this precept, that means don't worry about eating defiled foods. That's a lie. Okay? There's a dietary law. That's a lie. Believe on the Messiah as the scriptures say. Okay? Read it again, verse 11. Now, that which goes into the mouth defileth a man, but that which comes out of the mouth, this defileth a man. Okay, let's get a precept. Staying in the book of St. Matthew, chapter 12 and verse 36. Again, red letter, the King of Kings speaking. But I say unto you, that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give an account thereof in the day of judgment. Read it again. Matthew 12 and 36. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give an account thereof in the day of judgment. Let's get another verse. Matthew 12 and 37. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. Okay? So all of you coming against this Bible, coming against the men of the Most High, coming against the gospel, coming against anything to do with the Most High and His only begotten Son, Yahawashi Hamashiach, the true King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Okay? Every other word, you're going to have to give it an account in the day of judgment. Point blank, period. So it's not what goes in the man's mouth, but that which come out of the mouth. This defileth a man. St. Matthew 15 and verse 12. Then came his disciples and said unto him, knowest thou that the Pharisees were offended after they heard this saying? Then came his disciples and said unto him, knowest thou that the Pharisees were offended after they heard this saying? I want to break something down. Salakia. Let's put some context about the Pharisees and the Sadducees and the scribes. Let's go to Matthew chapter 23 and verse 1. A couple of precepts. St. Matthew 23 verse 1 reads, Then spake Yahawashi to the multitude and to his disciples. Okay? Saying, Matthew 23 verse 2, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. The scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. So the Messiah is letting us know that the scribes, Pharisees, they speak the law, but they don't do the works of them. Let's get another verse, verse 3. St. Matthew 23 and verse 3. All therefore whatsoever they bid you, observe. All therefore whatsoever they bid you, observe. That observe and do. What's the king saying? That observe and do. But do not ye after their works, for they say and do not. Okay? Just to put it in context about the Pharisees and the Sadducees and all these, there are people, they're Israelites, but I just want to put it in context what the king said. All therefore whatsoever they bid you, observe. That observe, do, because they do talk about the law, keeping the law. But do not ye after their works. Don't do after their works. Why? For they say and do not. Okay? They're hypocrites. Okay, and that's what's wrong with you worldly people here in Babylon the Great. Y'all say that y'all worship the true king, but you don't want to honor him as the scriptures say. You're a hypocrite. Okay? Point blank, period. Again, on this Holy Sabbath lesson, why do ye transgress the commandments of the Most High? Let's get another precept about the scribes and the Pharisees. And talk about the law. And in context, I'm reading out in the New Testament. This is the Messiah talking in the New Testament about the law. Matthew 15 and verse 17 reads, Think not that I come to destroy the law, or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. And the only law that the Messiah came to and fulfilled, he is the sacrificial lamb. We don't sacrifice animals to the Most High anymore. One. Number two, there's not a Levitical priesthood set up to do the sacrifices. We're in captivity. Point blank, period. Think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. Again, only the sacrificial law. Matthew 5 and 18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. Okay, for verily I sent you to heaven and earth pass. Heaven is still here, earth is still here. One jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. All of the Father's judgments and prophecies have to be fulfilled. Okay, point blank period. Let's keep rolling. Verse 19. Matthew 5:19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of the least commandments and teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Okay? This next verse is the point I want to get to show how the Messiah was talking about the Pharisees and the Sadducees and the scribes. Matthew 5 and verse 20. For I say unto you, that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven. Powerful, powerful precept. Matthew 5 and verse 20. For I say unto you, that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees. That means your belief, your faith, everything that your works have to exceed the scribes and the Pharisees. Ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven. You see that? And you see how powerful this precept is? Let's go back to Matthew 23 and verse 1. Put it in context. Salakia, verse 2. Matthew 23 verse 2 saying, the scribes and the Pharisees, they sit in Moses' seat. Do you understand that? It's impossible for anybody on earth, righteousness, to exceed the scribes and the Pharisees in Moses' seat. Okay? Why do ye transgress the commandments of the Most High? Point blank period. Let the Most High be true and every man a liar. Let's get back to the lesson. Verse 12. St. Matthew 15 and verse 12. Then came his disciples and said unto him, Knowest thou that the Pharisees were offended after they've heard this saying? Verse 13. But he answered and said, Every plant which my heavenly Father has not planted shall be rooted up. But he answered and said, Every plant which my heavenly Father hath not planted shall be rooted up. Verse 14. Let them alone. Let the blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall in the ditch. Okay? If you're following these worldly traditions of this world, the commandments of men, okay, Sunday worship, following everything of this world in Babylon the Great, you're blinded, okay? Point blank period. You're blinded. Let's get a couple of precepts about the plants. Just to put it in context, 2 Samuel 7 and verse 10. And it reads, Moreover, I will appoint a place for my people Israel, and will plant them that they may dwell in a place of their own, and move no more. Neither shall the children of the wickedness afflict them any more as before time. Okay, this is post-destruction. This is after the destruction. Moreover, I will appoint a place for my people Israel, and that's our homeland, Jerusalem, Israel. Okay, and will plant them, and they may dwell in the place of their own. We're going home. Okay, and move no more. Neither shall the children of the wickedness, the world, afflict them any more as before time. As we know, the children of this wickedness, this whole world, put us into captivity for over 400 years, pursuant to Genesis 15 chapter and Acts chapter 7, verse 6 and 7. Okay? Where the Most High people should sojourn in a strange land, and in that strange land, they should be put in bondage and entreated evil for 400 years. Okay? The children of the wickedness. Point blank, period. Let's stay on topic. Verse 15. Then said Peter and said unto him, declare us this parable. Then answered Peter and said unto him, declare unto us this parable. Verse 16. And Yahawashi said, are ye also yet without understanding? Don't you get it? It's not what goes in a man's mouth, it's what comes out. That's what the king is telling the apostles back then. And Yahawashi said, are ye also yet without understanding? Verse 17, do not ye yet understand that whatsoever enter in at the mouth goes into the belly and is cast out into the draught? Verse 18, but those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, and they defile the man. I already proved it without a shadow of a doubt. Every idle word, you're going to have to give an account on the day of judgment. For the word that, by that word, you're going to be justified, and by that word, you shall be condemned. Okay? Point blank, period. So he's telling the apostles that. Are you still without understanding? Okay? Verse 18 again, but those things which proceed out of the mouth came forth from the heart, and they defiled the man. Verse 19. Let's get some of these worldly traits. Verse 19, for out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murderers, adulterers, fornications, theft, false witness, blasphemies. Verse 20, these are the things which defile a man. But to eat with unwashed hands defileth not a man. You see the whole concept here? The scribes, the Pharisees, and they worldly, they were worried about eating without washing of their hands. You see that? Following the tradition of men, why do ye transgress the commandments of the Most High? That's the question you need to answer. You're in the wilderness. There's no water. So you're not going to eat because you didn't wash your hands? How simple. And that's the way these worldly people are here. Simple as hell. Let's stay on topic. Verse 21. Then Yahawashi went thence and departed into the coast of Tyre and Sidon. Okay? And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with a devil. Okay, and behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with the devil. Verse 23, but he answered her not a word. And his disciples came and besought him, saying, send her away, for she cried after us. Verse 24. But he answered and said, this is what the king said, the King of Kings, Lord of Lords, who you're ignorantly called Jesus the Christ. Okay? I am not sent, but for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Okay? So he told this Canaanite woman that he is not here, but for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Read it again. St. Matthew 15 and 24. Beautiful precept. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Okay? Now I'm going to prove. Let's get into a couple of precepts. Let's go to Genesis, the beginning. Genesis 9 and 18. And it reads, and the sons of Noah that went forth of the ark were Shem and Ham and Japheth. And Ham is the father of Canaan. Okay? So this is a Hamite, Canaanite woman, another nation. Okay? That's the point I want to prove. And the sons of Noah that went forth of the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And Ham is the father of Canaan. Okay? Let's get another precept. Genesis 10 and 6. And the sons of Ham, Cush, Mizraim, Put, Canaan. You can add Ethiopia. You can add Somalia. You can add all these other nations that are out here. They're all the sons of Ham. They're Hamites. Okay? They're not Israelites. The Israelites are Shemites. Okay? We're the Shemitic people of this world. Stop this madness out here. Let's go to Genesis 9 and 25. And it reads, and he said, cursed be Canaan. And he said, cursed be Canaan, the servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren. Okay? So Canaanite's going to be slaves, and that's going to happen in this new world. Thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Holy Bible. Let's get to the point. Genesis 9 and 26. And he said, blessed be Yahawah thy power of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. Beautiful precept for all you so-called believing in all this Egyptian, all this madness and of the different doctrines out here. Read it again. Genesis 9 and 26. And he said, blessed be Yahawah thy power of Shem. Okay. And Canaan shall be his servant. Okay. I just want to, Bible says prove all things, so everybody can get full understanding of this precept. The king said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. This is a Canaanite woman from another nation. She's a Hamite. We're Shemites. Okay? I just want to put it in context because everybody here believes he's coming for everybody. He's coming for the world. Whatever. Let's read it again. Verse 24, St. Matthew 15 and 24. And he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Verse 25. Then she came and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. Okay, then came she and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. Verse 26. But he answered and said, it is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it to the dogs. Read it again, because these ain't my words. This is the king. This is who y'all say and call him Jesus the Christ. But we know he's Yahawashi Christ, a Hebrew Israelite. Okay, from the tribe of Judah. But he answered and said, it is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it to dogs. Okay, verse 28. And Yahawashi answered and said, 27. And she said, truth, Lord. Okay, so she agreed that he's not going to it's not right to give the children's bread to the dogs. And she said, truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table. I already proved the Canaanites are going to be our in the kingdom. They're going to be our slaves, and so are all the heathens of this world. Okay, and she said, "Truth, Lord. Yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from the master's table." Okay, I'm going to stop here. There's so many other precepts I want to bring out. It's Holy Shabbat. I'm going to come out with part 2. Thus saith the Lord. Thus saith the Holy Bible. Yasharal. I hope this is edifying so far. Why do ye transgress the commandments of the Most High is the question. Okay, following the traditions of this world, this demonic world. Okay, so again, I'm going to come out with part 2, Yasharal, on this Holy Shabbat, giving all praise and glory to Abba Yahawah, B'Shem Mashiach Yahweh Shai, B'Shem Kakadash. Until then, Shalom.